Hello everyone, welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. I wanted to show off my pride and joy, the 135 gallon Reef tank that's in our living room. It was cleaned yesterday. I have a guy come once a week. He helps me with the water change because I don't feel like schlepping a shit ton of RODI water, etc., etc. And he helps me with the mechanicals that are under here. And I know how to do all this stuff, and obviously I do everything in my freshwater tanks, but it's nice to have a helper. It's also a guy who can get me livestock and help me out with other projects related to this hobby. In any event, the tank is about as clean as it gets, and so I wanted to show it off to you guys and also talk about sort of warm weather tips and tricks, because it's super hot during the days right now in Northern California and San Rafael where I live. It's just, that's the world we're in now, and even in normal times, July is hot, right? So this is not an air-conditioned house, and in my opinion, super hot temperatures are arguably worse for saltwater aquariums than chilly temperatures. I can fix chilly temperatures in some respects easier than hot ones because heater is not that difficult a concept. If you had that problem, and all tanks have heaters anyway, at least all marine tanks do, but a chiller is an expensive and dicey product. I don't have one, I won't have one. It's just another thing, and I don't need that under here amidst the jumble. So what do I do? Well, I open the door in the evening because God bless Northern California, it gets wonderfully cool at night. I put a fan here and I push cool air into the open cabinet, which runs across the surface of the sump and gradually cools the water. This also, having the doors open, lets some of the mechanicals heat out. And then up top, I open the top partition and I slide back the coverlets on the tank top to let more evaporation take place and water cooling. In a dire emergency, I will put air stones and bags of ice in both the sump and the tank, but that has not been necessary yet, knock on wood. So the fun stuff, all right? So that's how you do it. That's how I do it. And on a few days heat wave, it really helps. Now, obviously, the bigger the tank, the easier it is because a larger volume of water doesn't heat up as quickly as a smaller one. So a nano tank is going to get warm real quick. I mean, just imagine leaving some milk out on the counter, a gallon of milk. It's going to get room temperature super quick. And so a 2 or 3 gallon nano tank, you're going to have that as well. And 5 or 10 gallons, frankly, doesn't take much longer. So those are all things to know during the summer months. I am so pleased with this mature tank now. Obviously, it's all about the soft coral. I didn't even try with stony polyp corals. Those are trickier. They need cooler, cleaner water than I tend to utilize here, and they're a lot harder to keep. They tend to be more expensive, and they look like shit when they're frags. They just look like little teeny pellets with a couple dots of color. And I'm all about the volume, right? I'm all about the base, right? So this tank is all about the base too. Big, fat, polypy, soft corals. These are leathers here. Boom, boom, like 3 fireworks in July. This is a Gorgonian, another Gorgonian, and those replicate the stony polyp coral effect. Stony corals to some extent because they're vertical, they look like trees. That's another one back there. 3 different kinds. They get all kinds of growth when they're healthy, and those polyps will pull things out of the water column. And since I have a slightly dirty, quote unquote dirty tank, that's what they love. Now look at this one. That's crazy growth. I've already fragged that guy, and put other pieces of him elsewhere about the tank. But I love this one. Really like a firework, right? A long tentacled, soft leather coral. And I fragged all of these to create like smaller fireworks. You see, that's my monster sailfin tang, but you see a couple frags there, one closed, one open, both alive. There's another one there. Those are all babies from one or the other of my soft corals, these leather corals. This is a massive toadstool, not opened right now, but it's very much alive. And I've fragged all around the edges, and if you watch my videos, you could see how I do that. There's one of its babies right there, that green one, and you see the small polyps creating that freckled effect. That's a baby, that's a baby. Back there I have some toxic green, those are green star polyps, Gsps, an easy coral to propagate. And this is another leather. Obviously, here I'm having an issue. You could see these are two frags. One is fine. This is a Gorgonian, a knobby Gorgonian, I think it's called. And then while on this side it's not dead yet, you could see the effects of bleaching and other issues. I could cut it, but believe it or not, those polyps do come out. It's just having issues, and honestly, snipping it means I'll have to probably adjust this piece so it doesn't look so lame. These are large polyp, large Paleothoa corals, those teacups there. And I've got a great colony of them back here on that ledge I built. The ledges, you can find them online. They use super powerful magnets to hold them through the back glass or the front glass, and you attach them and you can add more coral, you know, for you coral junkies. Here's what one of those looks like. And you see that's being held there by a magnet, but look at how magnificently it's coraled up with coralline algae and all the other growths that come over time in a marine tank. So I could go on and on. I haven't touched on any of the fish. I have in other videos. You can see them. These are large, fat, mature specimens of tangs, and I have foxface, excuse me, and any number of other. There's the iconic yellow tang. They're all fat-bellied, vigorous eaters. Some of these are even too large for a tank like this, especially bull over here. That's what I call the sailfin, but I've had him since he was the size of a half a dollar, so I mean he's in there for keeps. It's a gorgeous purple-headed wrasse right there, a fairy wrasse. So what do you think, guys? Marine fish keeping during the summer months. It's got its perils, but many, many rewards. Let me know what you think. And as usual, keep your hands in the tank, be it freshwater or salt. Ciao for now.